Hi, it's me, Vicki Marie. Good morning, because it's quite early in the morning when I'm making this video. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a sad update on the Marelle Sturrock case. For any of you who may have seen my quick live that I did yesterday, because I was just so angry again about this kind of thing happening again. Marelle Sturrock was a primary school teacher, to all accounts, as they always are, very lovely person, kind, caring, and also she was 29 weeks pregnant. And she was a primary school teacher at the Sandwood Primary School up there in Scotland, now near Glasgow, or in Glasgow. She was, as I say, she was 29 weeks pregnant, and she was murdered on Tuesday, April the 25th. We don't know what time, etc., but that's when I think the police think the incident happened. And what happened was she didn't turn up for school the next day. You know, she didn't turn up for work at school, and so the police were rang from concerns that, you know, that wasn't like her not to turn up, and the police were sent round to the property where she lived with her partner, David Yates, who 36 years old. I don't know if I said how old Marelle is. I mean, not that it matters. She was 35 years old. So that's, I don't know if that, I presume that's her first child, because I haven't mentioned any other children. It's quite late in a way to have your first child. I was 33, which I thought was late at the time, but I know people do have children later now. I would imagine she was, she was absolutely over the moon when she first found out she was pregnant, if she's been wanting children for a while. I presume she likes children if she's a primary school teacher. Now, we don't know much yet about the actual relationship with David. I'm sure that'll come out over time, and I will let you know about that as soon as I hear anything. But there has been a development. I told you yesterday about the murder, and that the police were looking for her partner in a local park, reservoir type place, which I'm going to put some information about where it is. And yesterday evening, Thursday evening, yeah, it's Friday today, yeah, Thursday evening, 27th of April 2023, just in case you're watching this video later on, in the Mugdock Reservoir, the body, well, a body of a man has been found, and it is presumed to be the body of David Yates. Obviously the police haven't actually confirmed, he hasn't been identified yet, but it seems quite likely. His car had been abandoned there in the in the parking around the reservoir, so he had been there. So it's presumed that this body that they found is David. And the last sighting of David had been Sunday evening, shortly after 8. Now, again, we don't know all the details yet of what the last messages might have been of Marelle. She may have died before she was found. She was found on Tuesday, April the 25th, but we don't know, obviously, yet how long she had been dead. You know, we just don't know. So until we find that out. Baby did not survive. Sometimes babies can survive, of course, if they're, far enough along, but in this case they unfortunately did not manage to save the baby. So yes, it's a very sad It's a very sad case, isn't it? I mean, there's no escaping it. And once again, what can we do about this? This is my question. What can be done about this? About this male violence towards women? I mean, we don't know the situation, whether they'd had an argument, whether she'd said she was going to leave him, whether she found something out about him and challenged him with it. You know, we just don't know. I mean, obviously in all the photos that you'll see that I've put on here, as always in social media, they're smiling. You know, social media is so misleading, isn't it? You know, the thing is, nobody uploads photos to their Facebook or Twitter or whatever when they're, you know, upset, crying, having a terrible time with their partner. They're all smiles. They're all, you know, sometimes they might look, you can look at them and think, oh, is that a false smile or a real smile? But you just don't know. You can't know. So social media, we think it gives us an insight into other people's lives, but it actually doesn't. Because it only gives us an insight into that part of their lives that they want us to know about. You know, same with, you know, I'm saying they, but I'm the same. You don't put pictures on when you're going through a terrible time and trauma, etc. You put the, you know, social media always looks like everyone's having a great time. I had a friend, well, an acquaintance really, more than a friend. Oh my goodness, you know, the photos that would be put on social media, and they weren't true either, you know, literally would go out somewhere all dressed up, have a load of pictures taken with people that they didn't even know most of the time, go home after an hour, and then the next day it'd be, oh, great time I had last night at the Halloween party, or this. I would have been there and knew that that person had only stayed a very short length of time, had just really gone around and sort of grabbed anyone to take a photo with. But some people just want to give that impression, don't they, that everything's great and they're having a great time. And you know, I don't do that. I mean, I think when I go quiet on social media, that'd be probably when, well, I might be busy, to be fair, I might be busy doing videos, but yeah, or if you're having a bad time, you just don't really post anything, do you? But then, you know, nice, because I always like to put positive things on. I think people don't want to look at my social media and think, oh, you know, I don't like to moan on videos and think, you know, sometimes I watch YouTube videos and people talking about, anyway, I don't want to criticise other YouTubers, but I you know, people watch, it's like if you work in a bar, or like being a Spanish teacher, which is my other job, people don't go in a bar, if you're not a person who can put on a face, you shouldn't work in a bar, a pub, we call them bars here in Spain, or a restaurant, because these are places where people go to escape their problems, to have, you know, get out and sort of not think about depressing things for a while. They want to come away feeling better. So if you're not a person, have you ever done that? You walk in a bar or whatever, and the people behind the bar, they're so miserable, and it's like they're doing you a favour by getting you a drink or serving you a meal. Well, I just don't return, because I just think, oh my god, if I want to be depressed, I can just stay at home and watch something depressing. I don't want to go to a bar and get depressed. And when people come for classes, there's sometimes I've had to do classes in the most terrible circumstances, like when my father died and I was here in Spain, and I had to hand over my classes that I was doing. So I was working in an academy then, you know, not for my, I couldn't just go to the UK. I had to hand over my classes to another teacher. So I had to do the classes, introduce the other teacher, explain to them what point the students were at, etc. These are things you have to do. You can't, it's just the way it is. Some jobs where you're working with the public, if you don't like that, don't work with the public. That, yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. You know, I wouldn't like to work behind. I don't mind working behind a bar if it was just a couple of hours a week, but not day in, day out, because that's a lot of that you have to be sort of happy. That's why obviously probably quite a lot of people who own pubs, etc., they do like to have a drink, because they like to join in the atmosphere and things, because, you know, yeah, people want to be entertained when they go to a pub. They don't want to go to a pub and come back feeling even more depressed than when they first went there. So I've forgotten why I started saying that. Why did I start saying? Oh, we're talking about social media. So that's the same. So when I'm doing like my Instagram or Facebook, or, you know, I don't put anything depressing on, you know, about my life. I just want to put nice pictures on. And so everybody does that. So you look through social media, you think, oh, everyone's having a great time, you know. And sometimes, I know sometimes people look at it and they think, oh, my life's not as exciting as that, you know, and then they can get down about that, you know. So it's very difficult. So, you know, you'll see from the photos that I'm putting on here, everything seems great. They seem very happy, you know, expecting the baby, and Marelle sort of very blooming, you know, and as pregnant women often are. And David looks happy, but obviously there was something not quite right in that relationship, which we don't know yet, but we'll find out, I suppose. And of course, this again, as I was saying yesterday, I think it's a very cruel resolution, if you like, or ending to it's not the end to the story for them, because they've got to live with it now, the families. But because David, there's nobody to tell the story of what happened. The same with Emma Patterson, you know, who her husband killed her and her daughter and then took his own life. There's no why, you know. Families will want to know why did this happen, you know. Maybe it will come out that there were some inklings of problems, or maybe it will seem as if nobody knew that there were any problems here. But it just is so unfair, because not only the family of Marelle, but the family of David as well, you know, they've both lost someone, and the baby, you know, grandparents have lost a grandchild, aunties and uncles have lost a niece or nephew, cousins have lost a cousin. I mean, these sort of things, they're not just confined, are they, to the actual incident and the people involved in the incident. The ripples go out, you know, so far and wide, friends, family, so much suffering, which is very sad. So I'm, you know, just want to say I'm sending out my love and prayers to the families. I hope they find a way to cope. You know, that's all you can do really, is cope. Nothing ever really gets better, does it? And you can't change it, you can't bring it back, but you just find ways to cope. So yeah, my love and prayers goes out to the families of everyone concerned in this incident. So I just wanted to update you as to what had happened. I know some of you live, some of the messages that I received, some of you live quite close to where this has happened. So as time goes on, hopefully, maybe with social media, one good thing I suppose about social media is, although David's not around to tell us why he did it, maybe something will come out of messages. Maybe he has left a note. So those sort of things we find out in time. So okay, sorry, I know it's very sad, but I hope you all have a very good day, and remember to always live and love carefully and wisely. Remember, I've got my live stream today, Friday, the first live stream for members. Thank you all who have joined. I hope you understand why I've created a membership. We can, you know, there'll be a video coming out later today about Paul Ansell and Nicola, which I'm looking at things from a different angle, and I've got some new photos and information that I'd like to share. and I'm making it members only for this live chat because it keeps it easier to control, it keeps the trolls out, you know. And some people have been a bit sort of sniffy about me creating a membership channel, but do you know what, you're really probably the sort of people that I'm trying to keep out. But then on Sunday, this serial killer Sunday, which is open to everybody at the moment, so you know, if it turns out to be a bit bedlam or whatever, we have to see how it goes. So just be aware that there might be quite, I mean, maybe nobody, still be not many people, I don't know, but I have no idea how it's going to go. But I thought do a live stream, you know, for everyone, and we're going to be talking about 5 serial killers. And the question I put out on a video the other day to promote it was, do you know who these 5 serial killers are? So thank you, quite a few of you have tried to guess who they are, and nobody's got them all right yet. So we'll see on Sunday who these serial killers are, and hopefully I'll see you then. But until then, may your God go with you. Thank you.